Yes, good morning, good afternoon for those of us in Nigeria and then in the UK. Yes. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here in Houston, and I'm super excited. I'm grateful. I am thankful that I get to be here and I get to share today with my very own sister. It feels like I've known her forever. So I'm so excited and I can't wait for this conversation to start. For those of us who would get to see this later on the replay, you don't want to miss this. There will be so much information, so much insights that will be, shared today. So please take time out to go through the whole video and pick one thing, just one thing that you will take away from today's conversation with Coach Cokes. So yeah, like I said, I'm excited. I can't wait to have her in. She's already here. So yes, so today we'll be talking about disability and you. Pretty much, how do you see it? What's your understanding? What's your perspective about disability of any form, in any form and in any kind? There are different types of disability, and so yeah. So what's your take? What's your opinion? Please. Okay. So that's for those of us who would get to see this later on. So let me go straight in and bring in my guests, and we can go straight in, digging deep into this conversation with no further ado. So Coach Cokes, you could send me a request now so that I can bring you on, and we can start off this. So as I'm waiting for her request to join me in this conversation, I would go ahead and read her bio. Okay, yes. Yes. So let's see. Yes. Good morning. You don't want to know
Hi.
the butterflies in my tummy. I'm so excited. I don't know why, but I'm so excited. Yes, thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Toya. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
In fact, the excitement, eh? Okay, well, let's go straight in. Don't let me get to, I'm excited. So, my guest here today, her name is Coco Ekeng, aka Coach Cokes. Started her early education in Queen's College, Yaba. Then she went on to study economics in the University of Lagos. Yay! Hopakokai! She is also a graduate of the University of Hull in the United Kingdom, where she was awarded her master's degree in economics and business. In the last 2 decades, Coco has worked in different organizations like ExxonMobil, Globacom, and First City Monument Bank, in Nigeria. Currently, she's in the United States. She's in Houston, Texas, with me here in the United States. And she's a certified life coach with experience in life design and mapping, emotional freedom techniques, behavioral change, and cognitive behavioral therapy. She's also the owner and founder of Coach Cokes' life design practice here in Houston, Texas. But she's in Dallas. I'm sorry. I keep saying I think everybody's from Houston. She's in Dallas. Yes. Coco is a voracious reader. She's a wife, a mom of two amazing children, one of which, the youngest, is living and thriving with seizure disorder, global developmental delay, and speech regression with autism. I am blessed to be sitting with you because I know you're a powerful woman.
Thank you so much. Toya, all this toasting, eh? Now, wow.
You
Thank
deserve
you.
it. No. Let's be serious. Let's be serious. I used to think I was strong, but I've met somebody who is stronger than me.
Oh my God. Thank you so much.
I've met someone who is stronger than me, and I don't want to take it for granted because we women, yes, and it's happy Mother's Day weekend.
I know.
Yes, yeah,
I
yeah.
know. Thank you.
So reminiscing back now, I'm thinking, I said, oh, my first Instagram live was actually on Mother's Day for UK and Nigeria.
Oh, really?
Yes, and
How many
I'm
years
about
ago?
feeling like some weeks back. I think sometime in March.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, sometime in March. And
Mm-hmm.
here I am having a groundbreaking moment with you. So yes, so thank you so much. I'm not taking this for granted in any way. So every opportunity I get to say thank you, I will say thank you. So
Oh, thank
yes,
you so
thank
much.
you for coming. Yeah, so let's go straight in. For those of us who would get to see this, please, like I said, take time out to watch everything, and I'm sure you would go away with something huge, even if just one thing, just
Mhm.
one thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Coach Cokes, the ground is yours. Please, for those of us who don't know you, tell us, introduce yourself officially, and then tell us something that we don't know, that I don't know about you. That's yeah.
Okay, so I think you said it all with respect to the introduction. Thank you so much, Tony. Again, I do not take this for granted. And while you know, I'm speaking today, I have taken note. I have my notes. I'm full in on this, and I'm really, really glad. I hope that one person, one family can be empowered from this morning's discussion. So my name is Coco. We've talked about that before. I started my life coaching practice probably
Thank
5 years ago.
you. Thank you, Billionaire Hayes. Okay. Your people are
Yeah, I started my life coaching practice somewhere around about 5 years ago. I mean, I think it was one of those situations where you feel there's something that everybody does not know, and you feel like you want to help people. Like, yeah, I had been working in an organization, and I felt like, wow, it wasn't what we learned in school that we need to know here. There's a lot that nobody teaches,
oh
you
yeah.
know. I mean, there's a school for everything else apart from a school for life, right?
Yes,
Um, no,
exactly.
life school, so and I felt like I wanted people to know that, well, there's so much more you need to know. There are so many things you need to know if you're going to work in an organization, if you're going to, so that was at that point in time, that was my vision. That was what I had in mind when I went for life coaching in the Lanre Olushola Coaching Academy. I got there, and honestly, that was the most mind-blowing week of my life. So I realized I was going to help others, but then I was going to help myself. So
Right.
everything kind of rocked my boat. And then looking back now, I realized that every things that have happened to me, I look back now and I realize I was being prepared. So I was being prepared for what was to come.
Mm.
I always say, if not for two things, so if not for my coaching, and if not for the ministry that I was in at the time, which well, let me not use the word was. um,
Sorry,
I would
sorry
be.
to break your thoughts there.
Mhm.
Um, Hello everybody. I see everybody. Thank you for joining. But this is really, really important. So if I don't say hello to you, please pardon me, because this is, a
Yeah, we see
conversation
you.
live.
We see
Yes, we
you.
see
We
you. I
feel
see you
you. We love
sleeping.
you.
Yes, thank you, sister. Thank you, everybody. So yeah, go on.
Okay. So I always say, if not for life coaching, and if not for, and funny enough, they're intertwined, because if not for the ministry that I was in, or I am in, um, I would be broken by now.
Mm,
I would be completely shattered by now, if not for I had been prepared. And of course, at the time, I didn't know, I didn't know. I just had that vision. You know how when we talk about purpose and we talk about our vision in life, it comes in small bits and small doses.
yeah, God doesn't show you everything.
Yeah, you don't see everything at once. So I looking back, I realized I was being prepared for that. So since then, I've been pretty much in my practice, digging deeper, um, on that, getting more revelation, being led more to understand. So I'm a work in progress. I'm growing, you know, and I'm immensely grateful for my journey. Immensely grateful. So one thing you said, one thing that you don't know about me. Okay, I don't think people see the side of me that is like a crazy Burna Boy fan. I am in love.
Yes, when you told me, I was
I
like,
am a
really?
stalker. I am, so my husband is here. So when I say I'm in love, I don't mean that kind of
I
love. Oh.
know. Yes.
So
You
uh,
have you don't it's just this one artist that
I'm a
one person
fan.
that yeah, so it's
I'm
okay.
I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. Oh, hi, Sonia. Hello,
Yeah, it's interesting
KWO.
because yeah, because for someone like me,
hmm
just like you just said, we
Oh,
are both
somebody
like
else is a stalker since day one. I'm
yes.
a fan. Let's not even go there because this whole conversation will become about Burna Boy. Let's not go there. Let me just drop
Okay.
it. Let me just drop it here.
And leave it. Let's just leave it there. Yeah. That's good. That's good. Yeah. So based on all that you said so far, there's so many things you said within, this short
hmm
conversation.
hmm
And most people will be thinking, yes, it's a journey. Yes, I'm growing. Yes, life teaches us, so many things. And, but now specifically with your experience as a mother,
hmm
you know, with your experience as a mother and as a parent, you know, what's what journey have you walked through?
hmm
What journey are you experiencing and still
hmm
loving Burna Boy? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So, mhm.
yeah, yeah.
So I
So
guess my journey is an interesting one. I guess it's what I would call so what other people would call a wilderness, but what I would call growth.
mm,
What I would call growth. And for the purpose of this conversation, I'll talk about my journey with respect to well, because we're talking about disability, we're talking about special needs. So I'll talk about my journey with respect to my daughter, who um, quick trip down memory lane for she basically was born normal, everything fine, growing very quickly, and then somewhere around her just before her second birthday, she started vomiting non-stop, and then fast forward, the vomiting progressed into her having seizures, um, and um, and then a lot of regression with respect to her speech, with respect to her self-care, with respect to her skills, motor skills, sensory skills, um, and having gone through several doctors, having gone through medical practitioners, having gone through, and then having to leave home to miles and miles and miles away to Texas to because of her, because of her, basically, just to give her the best, what I regard as the best, so I feel like children are like flowers that you water. So you as parents, we want to give the best, um, we want to water them with the best so that they will grow and flourish to who God has created them
to be.
to be. I see myself as a custodian of her and her brother. I see her as God's child. So God has had this. God always begins with the end in mind.
Mm,
So
mm,
He has this child. He has her. He knows His vision for her. He has His purpose for her. He made her beautiful, strong, intelligent, as in with a massive personality. And then he knew her journey. He knows her journey. He knows her days. He knows her life. He knows everything. And he decides, okay, so how am I going to birth her into this world? I have to birth her through a vessel. And he chose me.
Mm.
you know, as that vessel. So that's what I see her. I see her. I see my children as and for the purpose of this conversation, I'm focusing on her because of this conversation. So, but when I talk about her, I'm also talking about my other child. She has an older brother. So, I just see myself as basically a woman for the job, the woman for the job, and my husband feels the same way also. We're just here to do. We're here and we're going to do our best with respect to our job. God helping us.
Awesome. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So to clear that for some people,
Hmm.
because the idea for some of us is okay, if you get married early,
Hmm.
you would have a perfect child
Yeah.
because of the biological clock of the woman.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
If you give birth, normal delivery, you
Hmm.
should have a perfect child.
Hmm.
But if you don't, then that's the reason for why
Hmm.
all of this, that's the reason for why a child, or, particularly a child, because disability starts from, from
Hmm.
childhood.
Hmm.
So if all of this is still perfect,
Hmm.
it means disability can occur.
Hmm.
That
Hmm.
means you can have a perfect delivery. Your pregnancy term would be perfect. You carry the child for the 40 months or 39 weeks, or
Hmm.
40 weeks or 39 weeks, or
Uh-huh.
you get married at age 20 or 18. Yeah, because
Hmm.
sometimes they tell you, oh, if you are 40, oh, it's risky, oh, and all of those stuff. So
Hmm.
it means disability can occur even after having the child,
Hmm.
even after the child has, achieved certain developmental milestones.
Hmm.
That's what you're saying.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, um,
No, because
life is not about perfection or what is perfect and what isn't perfect. There's no perfect situation. I mean, even the concept of getting married early, the concept of having natural versus Hebrew woman versus Egyptian woman birth. I mean,
you're right.
even all those concepts. I mean, these are concepts that people dwell on. And much love, Nwa. I see you. I see you. Mwah. um, I mean, these are all concepts that people dwell on, but I think that I think that some of these things have to do with the way people see, in a sense, imperfection, in a sense, pain, trouble, struggle, anything that isn't va va
Rose.
boom, you know. And I think there's a perception that it's trouble means bad.
Mm, mm, that's awesome.
You know, there's that perception that if it's not in a sense what the world regards as perfect, then it means that it is bad, or it means that it is wrong, or it means that it is not of God. It couldn't have come from God. So it's so deep that if a woman births a child through a C-section, it's definitely not of God because it wasn't that perfect situation.
I had three
And
kids, three kids, C-sections.
yeah. And I mean, my two children, I had them through C-section. And I think so for that mindset then births a lot of, I mean, there are even ministries based on that mindset of if something bad happens to you, it is because something is wrong somewhere. Somebody somewhere has done something to you. There is a strong man in your home. There is somebody somewhere that has done, and it's amazing, but there are ministries based on this. There are books based on this. There's studies based on this. All kinds of things based on the fact that. But the interesting thing is that, I mean, if we look at this world, and we look at the 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 laws of, okay, let's even talk about how a seed grows, how a seed has to go in through the ground, be buried, it has to die before it then flourishes into what we see as this
Big tree.
big tree or beautiful flower. I mean, you realize that, I mean, the bearing and the dying is beauty, it's beauty. It's wonderful. It's life. It's just what life is. It's not nobody has it rosy all the time. And the same way nobody has it bad all the time, you know. So when you have situations that are supposedly imperfect or painful, it's a time for reflection. So it's a time for detachment and understanding, awareness of what is going on, understanding what is going on. Those are lessons, life lessons. That's like, imagine if life had a blackboard and there was a teacher teaching you teaching you giving you knowledge, giving you unique understanding, knowledge as to how to live life. That's what trouble is.
I love that.
It's some they're just situations where you need to sit back and observe and understand, learn, understand. It's not there are not times when you go crazy and go upset, make strong decisions in your life based on, oh, I'm going through this trouble, that means I must do this, I must never do this, or I must always do this.
Awesome.
No, it's just feedback,
Awesome. Feedback.
you know. It's just feedback. So when you think about it from that perspective, it kind of changes, I hope it kind of changes your mindset about when things happen. So, oh, so what? I got married at 15. So what? I had this and that, which, I mean, which is what the world sees as perfection. And then I now have this child, and this child has a disability. This child has some special needs, or this child is 7 years old but behaves like he or she is 2 years old. Oh my God, the whole world has fallen apart. It's, I mean, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Perspective. Really.
yeah,
So what I got from that statement is
mhm,
reflection,
mhm,
feedback,
mhm,
and something popped up in my reflection, feedback, and perspective,
mhm,
and
mhm,
perspective of
yeah,
how you see trouble,
mhm, mhm,
how you see challenges,
yeah, or
how
the
you
imperfections,
how you see difficulties,
imperfect situations,
imperfect situations. Yeah.
mhm,
So
mhm.
yeah, when you were talking, what popped up in my head was as a philosophy student. Yeah, even though I don't
Mhm.
practice as a philosophy, even Socrates said, "An unexamined life is not
Mhm.
worth living." So
Mhm.
it means that for every journey, for every experience,
Mhm.
for every challenge, for every difficult time that definitely would definitely
Mhm.
come our way,
Mhm.
it's also a time for you to sit back and reflect on how you got here
Mhm.
and the lessons that are in it for you. That's what I
Mhm.
hear you say.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And what makes you examine your life? If you are sitting in Honolulu, sipping whatever and having someone dance in front of you, are you going to sit that seriously? Are you going to be sitting down and examining your life? No, that's you
Yeah.
are not going to sit down and start thinking and examining your life and thinking and reading and listening, understanding, meditating. No, you're not going to be doing that. You're just going to and then what did he say? An unexamined life is what?
It's not worth living.
It's not worth living. So doesn't that explain to you why you see some people and you think they have it all? But yet they kill themselves. But yet they tell you they are depressed. They are very unhappy. Because, I mean, what makes you sit down and examine your life is that trouble that you think came from the bad,
Yes.
I mean, the strong man,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
strong man in my family.
Which,
Really?
which is
The
absolutely true.
generational curse the generational curse that came from, yeah, come on,
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
For people who are joining us, this conversation is about disability and
Mm-hmm,
disability and your perspective.
mm-hmm,
How do you see it? What you're understanding. And so this conversation is also to throw more light into
mm-hmm,
the wrong thinking that
mm-hmm,
once your child or there's a disability in the family or around you,
mm-hmm,
that means the world has come to an end, or that
Mm-hmm.
means that you have done something wrong. So for those of
Mm-hmm.
us joining in, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so that's what this conversation is about. So please, Coco, yes, some people will say, oh yeah, it's easy for you to say this because, well, you are abroad, well, you have opportunities to to get the best, which is what
Mm-hmm.
every parent wants for their
Mm-hmm.
child. How have you been able to walk through this journey, navigate this journey, even before getting to where you are today?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy for us to talk through our experiences, but as a teacher I also like to specific, like 2 3 specific points or instructions that you can share that you have consciously imbibed in navigating this journey as a mother and as a parent.
Oh, so yeah, so I hear you. And someone asked a question.
Oh, okay.
How was your reaction when your daughter was diagnosed in Nigeria? Denial, denial,
Flats.
denial. I was there. We were there in the hospital. We were in Luth. Me and then my husband is a lawyer. Hey, come on. He was arguing. He gave it to them. Gave them the points. He gave it to them, or like, he gave it to them, you know,
What was
um, yeah, support system for
Yeah,
medical practice. Oh Lord. Okay. Miss
they're just
Kivis.
bombarding you.
Miss Kivis.
For our guests, I know everybody's excited. I'm also excited. So please, people, let's, yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yes. Medical. There are so many medical, okay, in Nigeria. Yeah.
Hmm.
In Nigeria, it's a bit, of a difficult situation, I must say. And that's the
Hmm.
reason why we are doing this.
Yeah.
That's the
Uh-huh.
reason why we are doing this. Yes, in
Yeah.
Nigeria, the resources and um, the human resources, apart from other medical, yeah, human
Hmm.
resources, medical, educational, everything is
Hmm.
limited. Is
Hmm.
limited in Nigeria. So that's why we're having this conversation. And so, if you would like to get any help, you can reach Coach Cokes. I know she
Hmm.
has her people here. I also have
Hmm.
a few people here. You
Hmm.
can also reach me, and yeah, we can take it from there.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Yeah.
not a medical practitioner. Mm-mm.
Hmm.
I'm not. Neither is Coach Cokes. So
Hmm.
yeah, so you would need to definitely go through a series of assessments
Hmm.
for your child,
Hmm.
pediatrician, speech therapist. It depends on what
Hmm.
disability you are having
Hmm.
to deal with. So that will
Hmm.
determine what medical help you would need. But
Hmm.
I'm sure that Nigeria is not so bad. I'm sure there are
Hmm.
people, there are professionals, and there are schools that can at least, accommodate children with any special needs or disabilities. So yeah, just to make that clear, we are not medical practitioners, but
Hmm.
I'm sure that if you need specific help, you can reach out to me or reach out to Coach Cokes, and then we'll take it from there. So yeah, so you're trying to say, how did you navigate? Oh,
Yeah. and,
oh,
and then so one
I
thing
see
I would
that
say one thing I would say about Nigeria though is so if you need help, um start from the source. So the source is the government hospitals. So a lot of times we start from the private, and then we probably then get to the public. So if you can get to the public, so if you're in Lagos, we're talking about Luz, we're talking about the Lasut, or all the public hospitals. If you can get to the public hospitals, from my experience, I realized they always have the doctor for this, the doctor, that is the gastroenterologist, that is the child neurologist, that is the child, get
the
to the
specialist.
person, get to that person, that specialist, and then walk outwards from there. And like Toya said, you can always reach out to me, and I can help you with the pathways, but that is what I would say with respect to Nigeria.
Yeah.
So what
So
were we
how?
saying? So
Yeah. So my question was specific points. How did you navigate?
how did I
How
navigate?
have you
Okay,
been
yeah.
navigating
How
the
have I been
process?
navigating? Okay, so yeah, so like I said, that basically back to how I would say going back to my training, going back to my life coaching training. What coaching teaches you is it gives you a set of tools, right, in which um to navigate life. It gives you positive. So what happens is when things happen
Mm-hmm.
and people react in certain ways, and react in certain ways that cause more problems, is because they probably jumped from a state of this is what has happened to me. I can't do anything about it. So therefore I'm going to do ABCD, you know. So what coaching does, it helps you, it opens your eyes to the things that are in your control that you can actually control. So there's something that happens, you have no control over it. There is uh there are the things in the middle right there that you have absolute control over.
Mm-hmm.
And then that will now changes the way you react to things. So it's a different ball game. If you skipped that middle process of even knowing what you could have control over, your reaction will be completely different. So I think that for me, what coaching has done for me is it has given me those tools to know what my options are, how I can tweak those options so that I can have a different result. So my journey has been long. So like I said, this started when I was about to turn two. I was very much in Nigeria then. I was even working, and I mean now she's going to turn 8 in July. In July, so it's been a journey. It didn't start here. America is just very recent,
Mm-hmm.
so it didn't really start here. So I would say there are specific and there's something called positive coping mechanisms. So the reason why people go into, so this and this is happening to me, so I because of that I started excessive drinking. I started um uh I started excessively doing this or excessively doing that, or I started blaming my spouse. I started blaming someone else. It's probably it's it those are coping mechanisms. Those are negative coping mechanisms. So what my practice has taught me and what I teach others are positive coping mechanisms. So it's just, I think it just basically starts in the mind.
Yeah, that was where
And
that was where I went.
yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
mind.
it basically does start in the mind. I would say, like, sometimes in my worst times is when I've reached sort of like a breakthrough. So when I tell you, um, my child is I'm just a custodian to my child, and I'm a woman for the job. It might sound nice, but how did I get there? I got there at my worst time, at the time when I thought, is this girl going to die?
Mm.
This girl would just close her eyes to sleep and she just starts having seizures.
Mm.
And that's it. Boom, boom. That's it. And even during the day, so when it got to that breaking point where I'm just thinking, is this is this girl, am I going to lose this child?
Mm.
Then it hits me like, who told you she was your child before?
Ah,
Who told you
ah.
she
You
wasn't to
just
your
you
glow?
just
She's not.
hit the nail
I
on the
mean,
head. There was something I heard from one of my coaches, as a
mhm,
big person that I fortunately just met recently, March.
mhm, mhm,
He said something. Sorry to cut you short. He said
mhm,
something. He said, "Who said, like you just said? Who said the
mhm.
child is yours? You and the child, you are from the same father. You just came early. That's the difference."
I know, right? Who told you that her life is to your glory? That,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you don't want to lose her. So I
Mm-hmm.
mean, so sometimes, I mean, hey, Katie. As in, so
Yeah.
yeah, so that's I would say, I mean, getting down to the nitty-gritty of things, I would say, if there are just there's just a lot of things, but I would say for sometimes I would say, um knowing when to take a break.
Yeah.
And that's taking a break is even when your day has started. from the beginning of the day, like morning routines. You've heard about morning routines and everything, and sometimes it's almost as if it's a nice to have, but sometimes it's a
Must.
necessity. It's a must. When you wake up in the morning, understanding the first thoughts that come to your mind, the first things that you see in your mind, even, and I would say even from the last things at night, the thoughts that come to your mind, the sort of like seizing your day in your mind, sort of like, so just doing, and I can't get down into the nitty-gritty. I get down into it
Yeah,
with my
yeah,
clients,
I
but
understand. To
you know
help you put that in simple words, because
hmm
um some people will see this and they're like, okay, but there were no specific things. But this is
hmm
what I think she's saying. If I'm wrong, please correct me.
hmm hmm
One is your mindset.
hmm
What do you think
hmm
is
hmm
happening to you?
yeah
That's very important. What
hmm
do you think is happening to you?
hmm hmm
Secondly, intentionality. You have to
yeah
be intentional with
hmm
whatever experiences that comes into your space.
hmm
It doesn't necessarily have to be disability, but in this case, it is a disability.
hmm hmm
And that means acceptance.
hmm hmm
So you have to come to a place of acceptance
hmm hmm
before you can move on. And then,
yeah
because now if you accept,
hmm
you'll be like, okay, what next?
hmm
You know, yeah. So,
yeah
so what I hear you say is your mindset,
hmm
being intentional, and that means accepting what
hmm
you have right now,
hmm
not looking at it from a different perspective. And so if you
hmm
come to acceptance, now you can move forward with, okay, what are the knowledge, what are the resources available,
hmm
what can I do to
yeah
make this
hmm
better? So
hmm
so yeah, so those are things that I would say has helped you navigate
hmm
through
hmm
this journey, right?
yeah yeah I think a lot of it has to do with the mind and being an observer. So um so you have a child, for example. I've had her, so she's going to be 8, she's 7, but I've had to potty train her
Mm.
at 7. So I could see it for every time, and it started with schedule. So it started with a 15-minute schedule. So 15 every 15 minutes going to the bathroom. And that could be seen as very tasking, or it could be seen as interesting. So I feel like, so the things that a child learns, so the child learns to play, a child learns to play with flashy objects, a child learns to build blocks, a child learns to do those kind of things, but these are things that you might not necessarily observe keenly. You might just put those things there and just see the child playing with it. Oh, can you imagine the child is playing with it? And because they are able to play with blocks, they are now able to understand the textures of things, and they're able to do other things with their hands. But you never really observed it. If it just happens like that, you don't really observe the process. So now when something happens and you have a 7-year-old who is
Doing it first.
just learning to do those things, it helped me observe. And for me, it was very interesting to actually
I
watch.
yeah, I totally
Yeah,
agree with what you just said, because
hmm
so when you first have the first child, there's a
hmm
tendency for you to just think everything will fall into place like it's
yeah,
normal.
hmm hmm
When you now have the second child, I think that's when we tend to now start to enjoy
hmm
the journey of being a mother, because
hmm
now it feels like we are more aware when we have the
hmm
second child. I
hmm
am thinking, yes,
yeah,
because
hmm
yeah, even for me, I think this happened when I became a third
hmm
mother,
hmm hmm
a mother to a third child.
yeah,
Then it became so clear to me, and then I started, paying more attention to, certain things that were happening around me.
hmm
Initially, it just felt like, yeah, it should automatically
it's
happen.
also hmm yeah. So
Right.
it is really interesting if you get it out of your mind that, oh, this is just a horrible situation. Why would I be potty training a 7-year-old child? Why would I be teaching a 7-year-old child how to grasp things, how to play with things, how to hold a crayon, how to touch textures? But if you get it out of your mind, it's just a it's really just a mind shift. It's a
Yes.
state of mind where you detach yourself from situation and you begin to enjoy it. You begin
Yes.
to understand it. So this is how they learn to play. So this is how they learn these skills. This is
Yes.
how they learn how to do these things.
Yes.
This is how a child learns how to um pull down her pants, and sit down on the toilet seat, like a step by step learning, understanding. And and I mean, and the interesting thing is that you are never alone. That's the interesting thing. Is that when you actually open your eyes to see, when you actually change, you have that shift of your mindset and you see that you actually have a lot of help. You actually have a lot of resources around you. You actually notice soul spice. Thank you. I I recognize your presence.
I see someone say Sonia.
Yeah.
Yeah, she says
Hmm.
it's a cultural and the mindset
Hmm.
has to change
Hmm.
on how we approach disability. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. It's just the same. It's the same thing we talk about. It's the same
Yeah.
mindset thing.
Yeah.
So that's when you begin, and that is when and so there's so I'll touch a little bit about the energy we give out and the vibration that we give out.
Awesome. Awesome.
So if you spend your time thinking about why is this happening to me? I'm so unhappy that this is happening to me. I'm so overwhelmed that this is happening to me. I don't have time for anything else. That is the energy that you're going to be giving out. We give out energy, we give out the things we think, the things we say. They are like echoes. They go and attach
To something.
itself to similar echoes, similar energy, and that energy comes back
Back to.
to us. So if you are there thinking about the strong man that has caused this problem, or you are thinking about how it is somebody's fault, it is my fault, it is somebody's fault, it is somebody else's fault, this is why is this happening to me? That is the energy that you are giving out. That's the vibration that you are giving out. And that is what you are going to attract
Yeah.
back to
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you give out the energy that if you are giving out a positive energy, you are grateful for this opportunity. It's going to be a great day. All things are working together for my good. You know, you will attract the right people. You will attract the right resources.
You see what you
Um,
think.
you will see. You will attract. You will find out that you're not alone. You will learn more things. This journey, at least for the past 1 year, I would never have been able to um, survive this journey without the people that God has sent into my life. And one of them just logged in, Katie May.
Uh,
Oh my God. Um, Katie is Dinora's occupational therapist.
mm. Thank you.
And
Thank you for
yeah,
mentioning. The next question was to go into, particular therapy strategies and things
hmm
that you've also used that
used,
has
yeah.
helped you come thus far.
She's Dinora's occupational therapist turned godmother, so she's her godmother.
Uh,
So I think she's just
yeah,
finding that out.
I
But
like.
you
Yeah.
you have a Nigerian goddaughter, just know. So
I
she
actually, yeah, I like the
yeah.
fact that you mentioned that there are people
hmm
available. It
yeah.
means you have support system, but
hmm
because you've just not come to acceptance and realization
hmm
that
You've not
there
come
are,
out of that space,
yes,
that
that
shield. It's like a
denial
shield of,
phase.
yeah, it's just, even if people want to come to your space, they come to your space, they feel that energy shield, and oh, they just, they don't. Have
Yes,
you ever hung out with somebody who would leave your environment and immediately you start thinking negative things about all your plans, you're like, God, is this even
they are,
serious?
they
Is
are
this
so
even going
wrong.
to work?
So wrong.
And then you just go no,
Yeah,
as if you're like, nah, I'm changing this, I'm changing my state,
yeah,
you know I'm moving back to my positive space, so be that positive person, be that oh yeah, child, please send her some love. Send Katie May some love.
Oh,
Her
thank you,
groundbreaking
Kitty.
work on
Oh,
Dinora, on myself.
oh,
Not only is she Dinora's therapist, she made me Dinora's therapist. I
awesome.
do therapy
Your daughter.
with
Awesome.
Katie.
Yes.
I am hands. She does not allow me to be doing something else in the middle of therapy. She's teaching me, and that's the thing. As a parent, you are going to be your child's therapist. You're going to learn the skills, and they are very interesting. Maybe because I'm a mind person. The workings of the mind is so fascinating. It fascinates me. So I guess maybe that's why you could say I'm interested. Maybe. But I trust you.
But even as a parent, every parent
Hmm.
loves their child. So
I
I think
know.
that's the sacrifice. It's
Yeah,
not just
it's
about putting food on the table
on the
now.
table. Yeah.
The emotional
Hmm.
sacrifice that
Hmm.
comes with it,
Hmm.
you need to pay that price too.
Oh
It's
yeah.
not easy, it's
Hmm.
overwhelming, because I was
Hmm.
also going to ask you, have you ever felt overwhelmed, like, oh my God,
Oh yeah.
I'm
Oh
tired.
yeah. Hmm.
But because we're a human being, and based on what you said, you've touched
Hmm.
on practically everything I was saying. Okay, I was going to
Hmm.
ask you,
Hmm.
you know, that yes, you feel overwhelmed. Yes,
Hmm.
we all do.
Oh
Even
yeah.
if you don't have a disabled child or a child
Oh
with
yeah.
learning disability,
Hmm.
there are times when you are out and you
Hmm.
just want to, you don't want anybody around you. So
Hmm.
yes, so we're all humans. We're like you.
Oh yeah.
So the mere fact that you also feel overwhelmed from time
Hmm.
to time, and then you can still say, you know what, I've got this.
Yeah.
It's
I mean that. Yeah. I mean, there are times if I feel overwhelmed. I have a little patio outside my back door. I have two chairs there, just a little space. And sometimes I go out there, I shut the door. I tell my son, okay, I'm going outside. And I'm outside and I shut the door and I sit down there with my book, with my glass of wine,
correct.
I'm always reading, like I said.
And with your
I
thoughts,
write with my thoughts, I write also,
and with your
or I have a conversation with a good friend, you know, and that's it. I just sit down there for some time. It's like that I shut down. There are times I lie down on the floor in my living room. I'm like, I might be in the middle of washing dishes, and I'm just like, that's it. I drop it and I go and lie down. I'm not going to wait till I finish or whatever. I go and lie down on the floor for some time until I get up and I can continue, you know. So it's sometimes I play my music. I have my Hey Google, play Burna Boy.
I just love, I love the two, to your, to the energy and to the personality you bring to the table. Like, are you kidding, Bonner Boy? So, so that's interesting. That's really
Yeah,
interesting.
I have a Hey Google, play. Let me not say it loud because Google will stop it. Hey Google, play Burna Boy, and it's loud and it's just like,
Uh-huh.
oh, and
Yeah,
every like,
yeah,
so it's
yeah.
just
Mm-hmm.
and oh,
Oh, thank you.
she said. So I mean, so I don't know what else can I say? I mean,
Thank
it's
you, Katie.
yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. So wow, wow. You've dropped a lot of insights,
Hmm.
knowledge that the everyday parents
Hmm.
can, actually listen to and
Hmm.
pick one thing,
Hmm.
because we're in the age of information overload.
Hmm.
So even if it's just one thing
Hmm.
that
Hmm.
anybody who gets to see this, is able to take away,
Hmm.
it will be helpful.
Yeah.
It will be helpful. So
Hmm.
yeah, you, like I said, you've touched every single thing. But personally, what what has this journey showed you that,
Hmm.
okay, I didn't think I was like this before?
Hmm.
What have you learned? Yes, we know the therapy, the
Mm-hmm.
all the processes that comes with,
Mm-hmm.
raising a child with a disability and all of that. But for you, what's the one thing that this experience has, taught you that, you will never forget, that has made a fundamental shift
Mm-hmm.
for, in your life as a person, not as a parent,
Mm-hmm.
not as a
As a
mother,
person.
as a person?
Oh wow. Uh,
Was that was jam question?
I don't know. One thing I think I'll say purpose.
Mm.
I think this one thing is um
Because really, that's the essence of really this conversation. Like, you know,
yeah.
our journey
Mhm.
in life, there's a reason for it.
Oh yeah.
It's not wasted.
Hmm. So I would say purpose. I would say that for those who've known me for a long time, I've not always been like this. Um, I've not always been like this. There was a time I had Panadol extra in my bag. If you
Mm,
talk to my friends who have known me, Panadol extra.
mm.
And then I had gotten to the point where I would always have calms. There's this medicine called calm, this tablet. It's like the one where you can just walk into a family, non-prescription based. It calms
Medication.
you, like more non-prescription based antidepressant sort of like it calms you down because I was always triggered.
Mm,
Everything, every little. If I went outside to get a taxi and I had waited for a while and there was no taxi, or had spoken to a few taxi drivers and they said they were not going my way. As far as I was concerned, the whole world was against me.
mm.
All my sins, everything bad I've done, everything, everything was just. And the next thing I'm upset, the next thing I have a headache, the next thing I'm taking paracetamol, the next thing I'm trying to go to bed, I can't go to bed, next thing I'm taking calm.
Wow.
And I would say, I mean, going back to who I was before would definitely does not match
Who
where I want to be. Who I
or
was before was
who you
not
are today?
who I, yeah, yeah, but in terms of my purpose, in terms of my who God created me to be, who the mark I'm supposed to leave, my mandate, my purpose in this world, um, who I was before does not fit that person.
Mm,
I I was a bit conceited. I always had money. I was always always had I was a spoiled child, my dad's favorite. I always had money, I always had things, and I was a bit conceited about it. Um so there was no way there was no way that person could be who God had created me to be. There was no way. So I feel like I've been blessed to have been put through the fire. I'm
mm.
still in the fire. It's not I'm not staying here dancing and singing and telling you, oh, it's all over. Oh no, I'm still going through it. I still have my challenges. I'm still going through, but I've been refined,
Okay.
basically, bettered to who who I've always known. Let's so
Wow.
the thing is, you
You just
know.
gave me goosebump now.
The
You gave
thing
me
is that
goosebump.
we know, like whether you try to deny it or whether you don't, you know that you're not ordinary. You know you are special. You know that there's something in you. You know you have glimpses of where you know you're going to. You have glimpses of who God created you to be. You have it. You do. But the thing is, sometimes it's almost like gonna be a journey to get there. And we're all in different stages of that journey. But I think that what has happened or what is happening has built me up to to I've not even scratched the surface, but to an extent, at least the foundation, I think, the foundation of who God created me to be. I think what I believe is that it has built that foundation for me. And it's the same thing for all of us. So when we go through trials, tribulation, issues, it's not happening to you. It's not happening to break you. Oh, it's not. It's happening for you, to build you up. For all things work together for good, for the good of those who love the Lord, who are called according to his purpose. And this is not only a Christian thing. I'm not, speaking Christianese or saying, oh, because, oh, you are a Christian. If you are a Christian, then the Lord. No, you are God's child. God created you, So he created you for his own purpose. And he will do what it takes to break you, mold you, build you, everything for that purpose, for that fulfillment of that purpose. So I believe if there's one thing it has done, it has made me realize I'm on the path. And I couldn't be more grateful. I mean, I couldn't be more, I'm ecstatically grateful for life, ecstatically grateful for my challenges and everything that I'm learning. I'm blessed, on every side. So I think, um, yeah, I
Wow.
think that's it. Yeah.
This has been the most amazing conversation I've had in a long time, because I'm also one person who is very optimistic. And
Yeah.
when I come in contact with someone who, whose is that,
Hmm.
you know, I latch onto it, like I hold onto it. So yeah. So thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. Thank you so much for taking time out.
Thank you.
You've just, if you have any last word, because I think you just dropped a bombshell by saying, the experience has refined you.
Hmm.
And so I think that's one thing I would want everybody who gets to say this to take away too,
Hmm.
that the journey of life, the experiences, the challenges is really to refine you
Hmm. Hmm.
as a person.
Yeah.
It's
Hmm.
not to bury you, but
Hmm.
to refine you,
Hmm.
to bring out bring out the best that is in you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hmm.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's what I would take away. You refine.
Yeah. That's awesome. So,
Yes.
I mean, basically, my final words will be, I mean, everything I've said, let's package it and
Yes, please.
let's know what it means to us, because it's just the beginning. We've just, for lack of time and because of the heaviness of what has been dropped, I think it's good to pack it here. The conversation will definitely continue because we're talking about purpose. We're talking about purpose. We're talking about, from purpose comes everybody's purpose is expressed in different ways. So from what we have discussed today,
Thank you.
I believe that um, there has been, let me just say, some kind of incubation that will birth purpose. And purpose comes it shows it manifests in different ways. It manifests in ministries, it manifests in businesses, it manifests in organizations, corporations, um, um, all kinds, all missions, all kinds of things. So what my expectation is that um where we have gotten to now will then birth all those other things, and I would like us to continue this conversation into all those things, into understanding how we can make the best use of our problems. Because there was something I had written down, and it's so funny, I haven't even used my notes today. But um your oh goodness, hold on one
Yeah,
second.
it's okay. It's okay. I'm waiting
So
to hear.
your did I write this? Okay, so basically, your pain is your message, basically. So your if you think about, okay, even when we think about wealth, let's even touch a little bit about wealth. When we think about wealth, what is wealth? Wealth is when you give out value, right? And then you get value back in return, which may come in form of money or in form of relationships, in form of it comes back to you, right? That's what money experts say. Now, how do you know what value you are going to give in the first place? How do you know the value that you have inside of you? You know, when you solve people's problems. So, for example, you have a problem. From that problem, if you are able to create products, if you are able to create services to solve that problem for the many other people who are also having that problem, your journey is your message. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you, my darling. Correct, babe. So if you are able to provide products, services that solve that problem for other people, that is your gold. That is where your wealth is. You know, that is where your abundance lies. That is the reason why you are abundant in the first place. You know, so that's another level that we're going to go into. But, you know, for the sake of time and for the sake of the heaviness or whatever, the what has been dropped, what has been released, I think it will be. I'm very happy to
In
to
fact,
close here. And, you
in
know,
fact,
so just
yeah.
thank you to everybody that joined in. Your comments, I
Thank
feel them. I love them. Thank you.
thank
I
you.
love you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tonya. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, for
Hmm.
being here and spending your weekend with us. It was a
I
pleasure.
know.
Thank you, Coco. I love you.
Oh, thank you,
Thank
Tonya. I feel
you.
like we met, but we are sisters.
Yes.
We just met, but we're sisters. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you.
you, everybody. And I guess that would be a wrap.
Hmm.
And I would see you on the other side.
On the other side, and for anybody who has
Oh, yeah.
questions
Yes.
for
Please
me,
feel free. Reach out
um,
to Coco.
reach out to me. My, you
Coco.
know, we are here. Obviously, you know my handle. That's why you're here.
Yeah.
At Coach Cokes.
Yeah.
Maybe I should. Can I type it
Oh,
in
yeah.
here?
Okay, let me do. Let me say, Coach. Poo, 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 poo. Are you doing it, or because I'm
Yeah,
typing?
I just typed it
Okay.
in.
Okay.
So I mean, reach out to me.
Yeah.
You can
You
send me
would.
a DM. You can click on the my book now.
Yeah.
Um,
That's true. To
button to book a clarity session to,
yeah.
just
You
let's
everybody.
talk.
Yeah. Let me make that also clear for those of us that for some of us who are new to Coco, or some of people who also know me that are here. Please, everybody needs a support system around them. Everybody needs a coach that's in their corner to help them walk through the journey of life. And I'm sure with all the nuggets and wisdom that she's dropped, I'm sure you would really, really like to have her in your corner. So please reach out to her, and you would definitely have a change in your mindset. So yeah, so this is me saying thank you and thank you.
Thank you so much. You
That's
made my Mother's Day weekend. You made it. I'm excited.
it. Yes. So thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Yes, yes.
Hmm.
Every team has
Hmm.
a coach. Yes.
Hmm. Oh yeah, that's for sure. Oh yeah, that's for sure.
So yeah. So thank you, everybody, and I've gotten to meet Katie. So thank you, Katie. Because I know as a therapist and as a teacher, you know, we do amazing jobs. And
Hmm. Oh
so
yes.
yeah, so thank you, Katie. Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, so thank you, everybody, and I guess I will see Coach Cox on the other side, and then for those of you, I would see you next weekend. Yeah,
Hmm.
next weekend. So thank you for having a date with me, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. If you're in the US, Happy Mother's Day.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Mwah. Bye.
Yes.